Our next lesson is reviewing writing equations of lines. And again, we have the same three equations that we had in the last review. We've got slope as intercept form, standard form, and point slope form. I also included here our slope formula. So M stands for slope. And so M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that is useful when we have a set of ordered pairs to allow us to find the slope. So example 1 says find the slope and y-intercept of the line that goes through the points -3, 2 and -2, 0. So here we have two ordered pairs. So we're going to label those as x sub 1 and y sub 1. That just indicates that that's your first ordered pair. And so the second one we're going to do x sub 2, y sub 2. That's my second ordered pair. So now I can set up the equation for slope. We get M is equal to y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 2, over x2, which is -2, minus x1, so minus a -3. And this is where slope can get a little bit tricky, dealing with the positives and negatives. So on the top, 0 minus 2 is a -2. Now on the bottom, you've got -2 minus -3. So remember that subtracting a negative turns to plus. So that would be -2 plus 3, which is a +1. Now we can simplify the slope. So -2 over +1 is equal to -2. So I found that my slope is -2. So now we need to find the y-intercept. So if you think we have the slope, we need to find the y-intercept, we can use the slope-intercept formula and just plug in the information that we know. So slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Well, I know the slope because we just found it. I also can use an ordered pair, and you can use either one, for the x and the y. So since y1 is 2, I'm going to plug that in for the y. So y is 2. M is -2 because we found it over here with the slope. X is -3. And then we have plus b, which is what we're trying to find. So we're just going to simplify this equation. First, multiply -2 times -3, and you get a +6. Then to get the b by itself, you need to subtract 6 from both sides, and you get -4 is equal to b. So our slope is -2, and our y-intercept is -4. Now the question didn't tell us to do this, but if you were asked to write the equation, then you would just plug it all in. You would do y is equal to -2x minus 4. So that would be your equation in slope-intercept form that passes through the 2 points given. Now example 2 says write the equation of the graph shown. So again, we're going to want to find what the slope and the y-intercept are. This time we just need to do it from a graph. So the first thing I'm going to look for is where does this line cross the y-axis? And I see it right here. That ordered pair would be 0, -1. So my y-intercept is -1. The next thing I need to do is find another point that I could use to get the slope. So I see that this line passes through a point right here. And I see that it goes through here. So those are just easy points to identify. You can use either one. But now to find the slope, I'm going to count rise over run. So to get from my y-intercept to this first point that I found, the rise is 2 units. So see, it goes up 1, 2 units. The run, it looks like it goes over a half. Well, that's kind of tricky. So maybe I don't want to use that point. Maybe I just want to use the second one that I found. So this one up here. So if we count the rise over the run, it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and it goes over 1 unit. So my slope, the rise over the run, would be 4. And the y-intercept was -1. So my equation would be y is equal to, whoops, didn't realize I wrote m instead of 4. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. So y equals, the slope is 4x, and then the y-intercept is -1. So my equation, y equals 4x minus 1. Now for example 3, it says the table below shows the cost of buying tickets to an amusement park for different numbers of people. Write the equation that can be used to determine the cost C for P number of people going to the amusement park. So again, when we're asked to write an equation, we need to find the slope and we need to find the y-intercept. So when you're given information in a table, remember in this case, people kind of represents your x, cost represents your y. So these numbers can be used as coordinates. So we've got 4 people cost $2.50 and 6 people cost $3.50. So in order to find the slope between those 2 points, we're going to use our slope formula, which was the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to take 350 minus 250, and we're going to divide that by 6 minus 4, so x minus x. And we get 100 divided by 2, which is 50. So our slope is 50. So for now for the y-intercept, we're going to use the slope-intercept form of the equation. So y equals mx plus b. And again, we're going to plug in the information that we already know to find what we need, which is the y-intercept. So I'm going to use that first ordered pair, 4, 250. So the y value is 250. The slope is 50. The first x value was 4. And then we are going to try and find b. So 50 times 4 is 200. And then to get the b by itself, we're going to subtract 200 from both sides. And you get 50 is equal to b. So both our y-intercept and our slope were 50. So we get y is equal to 50x plus 50. Now, I use the variables x and y, but the question actually asks for you to determine the cost C for the number P, people of going. So over here, when I said that x was people, they actually wanted us to use the variable P. And the cost, instead of y, we should have used C. But that's an easy fix. You can just substitute that into your equation. The cost is equal to 50p plus 50. And there's our equation for the amusement park.